Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cody here, and I'm going to go ahead and give you my breakdown on what's going on right now with the Bitcoin market, with crypto, and the reason why Bitcoin is up over 9% in a week. But before we get to that, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like and also follow me on Twitter. Definitely appreciate it. So, Bitcoin is up over 9% in a week. Ethereum up about 3% in a week, and Binance Coin is almost flat on the week. Now, the reason for this is very interesting, and what we've seen so far in the past couple of days has been nothing short of incredible for Bitcoin hodlers. We're going to go ahead and take a look at our Bitcoin chart TA here. And what you can see here is that I've drawn in this downward channel here going back all the way since the 14th of April, in which it went all the way up here to about 31,000, got rejected and came back down again. So what we have here is this downward channel, and we have today where Bitcoin has broken out of this downward channel and has broken out of it very strongly. So it came up here. We saw resistance here at about 28,300 at that level, and it has stopped right at that resistance point. So Bitcoin, massive day to day, up over 5% today on some news I'm going to talk about here in a minute. But Bitcoin looking very strong and getting out of this downwards channel here. I'm going to go ahead and remove the downwards channel. That way we can see everything here. So what we're looking at right now is Bitcoin to currently come up over this level at 28,200, and then if it gets past that level, we're looking at is resistance here at about 28,800, and then above that at about almost 30 at that point. So Bitcoin right now is in an incredibly strong spot. We're seeing a lot of buyers coming in, and we're seeing quite a few sellers get completely priced out of the market. And we're also seeing a number of shorts get squeezed and liquidated as well. If we go ahead and take a look at our Bitcoin total liquidations chart, we can see that we've had about $42 million worth of short liquidations happening in the last day. And this is the largest we've seen since the 27th of May, in which we also had a big run up in the price. So Bitcoin shorts right now are getting completely destroyed. Now, the reason, again, for this huge run up here the past couple of days is because of news coming out of the organization BlackRock. BlackRock is one of the largest managers of wealth on the planet. They have $9 trillion of assets under management. And so BlackRock has gone through and they've applied for a Bitcoin spot ETF. Yes, a Bitcoin spot ETF on one of the largest asset managers on the planet. This right here is very, very important when it comes to Bitcoin adoption. Because even though, we talk about institutional adoption for Bitcoin and other Bitcoin adjacent fields, we also have to take a look at who's interested in getting into Bitcoin and for what reasons. And it seems like in BlackRock's case that there's enough demand from their clients to have a Bitcoin ETF that they're actually trying to file for this Bitcoin ETF, and there is some speculation here that they will actually be able to get that. So what's interesting about that is that Bloomberg seriously here points out that they have an impressive track record when it comes to ETF application approvals, standing at approximately 575 to 1. Okay, so out of 576 ETF applications, they have gotten all of them approved but one. Now that is amazing. If you guys remember, I did a video on the top bullish events for crypto, and specifically the top bullish events for Bitcoin. One of the most bullish events for Bitcoin was that spot ETF being approved. Now, the reason why this is important is because if a spot ETF is approved, that means that in order to facilitate this ETF, the ETF would have to actually buy Bitcoin and then hold that Bitcoin. In this case, it would be using Coinbase as a custodian. Okay, so what this means is that if people are interested in buying this ETF, that ETF would have to then go and buy additional Bitcoin. So what this is doing here is It's driving up demand for Bitcoin in a dramatic fashion, and now you can have people that have stocks. Now they can actually go and buy a Bitcoin ETF through a platform like E-Trade, or through like Charles Schwab, or through Fidelity, or whatever your platform is. They could actually go and buy and have accurate representation on Bitcoin, and that ETF would rise and fall with the Bitcoin price. So this is huge. This is massive news, and we don't have confirmation yet that they're going to actually get it approved. But that right there, again, when it comes to the most bullish events for Bitcoin, that's probably, I would say, in the top 5. I would probably put that as like 2 or 3 right after the halving. But this is incredibly important. Now, if you guys remember, I can show you what kind of impact this had in the past when they announced the spot or the futures ETF back in October. We can see here this huge little run up here. This was largely caused by the Bitcoin futures ETF getting approved, and that caused a huge run up in the price, all the way from about 40,000 here to about 66,000 back in October, November of 2021. So we can expect that we'd see a very similar huge rise up if this was ever to get approved. And right now, this kind of puts more air into the balloon that's been kind of deflated when the SEC charged Coinbase and they charged Binance, and everybody just basically wanted to sell and get out as fast as possible. Now you're seeing kind of the opposite reaction. I would almost call this institutional FOMO that's going on right now. Not only just BlackRock, but what's interesting about that is you have other players such as Deutsche Bank that are applying for digital asset licenses as well. Okay, so Deutsche Bank, one of the largest banks in the world, applying to be a custody service for digital assets such as cryptocurrencies. Again, big news for Bitcoin, and something that happened recently. Bitcoin Archive covered this on Twitter, but Wisdom Tree is also applying for a Bitcoin trust as well. So again, another Bitcoin trust. So this right here, again, is fantastic. It's fantastic news for adoption. It's fantastic news for anybody who's interested in Bitcoin, or who have hodled Bitcoin for any length of time. Fantastic news. All right, and then one additional bit of information I want to go ahead and talk to you about is a new crypto exchange called ETH is going online and offering Bitcoin and Ether trading, and is backed by Schwab and Fidelity. So this is a non-custodial exchange, and it right now is it has been launched. Okay, so this is huge right here, because you have Schwab and Fidelity, again, 2 financial giants that are backing this, and it's a non-custodial exchange, which means that whoever buys Bitcoin or Ethereum on that exchange is going to own that coin. Okay, so they're not going to hold that in custody. So again, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Digital Assets, and Citadel Securities has launched that trading in the 4 crypto assets, and it's non-custodial. So this is really, really good information. This is really a positive information. It's a good step in the right direction, and it shows yet again that there is demand for these services. Okay, there's demand for Bitcoin buying, there's demand for Ethereum buying, and there's also demand for, I think they said, also Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin as well. So in addition to that, so you have BlackRock, and BlackRock has this Bitcoin ETF. This also gave a big boost to GBTC, or the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. This was up over 11% today, largely on the news that if BlackRock does get a spot ETF approved, that would mean that Grayscale, who's also trying to get a spot ETF approved, it seems much more likely that they would get that approved after BlackRock has. Now you've basically opened the doors for everybody else to try and get their Bitcoin ETFs. Okay, so this was up big today, and it still trades at a discount compared to Bitcoin, but it seems like it's actually coming back up again. And if a spot ETF were to be approved and they converted this over to a spot ETF, then the discount would completely just collapse, and it would track the Bitcoin price because it's a spot ETF, if that were the case. So again, huge news for Bitcoin. That's the reason why Bitcoin's up so much today. And we've seen this massive amount of institutional adoption right now, or interest in the institutional interest in buying Bitcoin and holding it as well. So that is some big news right there. The other thing I want to talk about is Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is up to 50.8%, which is a level that we haven't seen since about April of 2021. So Bitcoin dominance is at a point of resistance that we've seen all the way back here since about March of 2018, and a support level since back in October, about August, October of 2017. Now, what this means to me is that we're in kind of an insecure market right now. It's about the furthest away from an altcoin season that you can get. There's heavy weighting towards Bitcoin and Ethereum, and very little weighting towards any other sort of altcoins. And the reason for that is because the SEC has kind of spooked investors and traders to get away from those other coins and just stick with the top two, Bitcoin and Ethereum. And now we're starting to see more money flow into Bitcoin as those other coins are sold, and Bitcoin is bought and kind of seen as like a safe haven in a very insecure time. Now, if we actually take a look at our Ethereum dominance, that's come down a little bit, but it's still fairly strong. So Ethereum is still in a fairly strong position right now. It, however, has had a very difficult time overcoming the resistance level. I'll put the box in here. Resistance level about right here or so. This resistance level starts at about 20.5%, and so far has not been able to overcome it. So again, most people these days are taking their money, they're buying Bitcoin, they're buying a little bit of Ethereum on the side, but it's primarily Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is taking tremendous market share right now. So let me know what you guys think. Is it a good idea for BlackRock to be in the Bitcoin ETF space, or is this going to harm crypto overall? And let me know if you guys wind up actually being able to get a buy below 25K. I am still waiting for Bitcoin to pull back in order to make another buy. I'm perfectly happy with the buy I made, and right now it looks like we're kind of off to the races, and I'm expecting we'll probably get through this resistance point and then pull back after that, and come and make another dip, and then we'll probably wind up challenging, trying to push for about 30K, and then we'll have to see where we are from there. This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and I hope to catch you guys in the next video.